The Islamic conquest of Persia in the 7th century marked the fall of the Sassanian Empire but led to a Persian cultural renaissance within the Islamic world. Persian scholars, administrators, and artists played a key role in shaping the Islamic Golden Age, influencing governance, literature, and science. Figures like Ferdowsi, Avicenna, and al-Khwarizmi made lasting contributions to history. Persian art and architecture blended with Islamic aesthetics, producing stunning mosques and intricate calligraphy. Regional Persian dynasties, such as the Samanids and Ghaznavids, revived Persian traditions and language. This era demonstrated how Persia retained and enriched its identity through cultural synthesis. Let's travel to the history. In the 7th century, as the Sassanian Empire weakened, a new power was rising in the Arabian Peninsula under the teachings of Islam. This movement, which united previously fragmented Arab tribes, soon expanded beyond Arabia's borders and swept across Persia with remarkable speed. The fall of the Sassanian Empire marked the beginning of a new era for Persia, as it became an integral part of the Islamic Caliphate. Yet, instead of losing its identity, Persia flourished, becoming a cultural and intellectual beacon in the Islamic Golden Age. The Islamic conquest began in the early 630s, soon after the death of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. At the time, the Sassanian Empire was weakened by internal strife, economic difficulties, and the aftermath of costly wars with the Byzantine Empire. The Arab Muslim forces, united under the Caliphate, quickly seized this opportunity. They launched campaigns to spread Islam and expand their territory, moving into the lands of the Sassanians. The turning point came in 636 CE at the Battle of al-Qadisiyah, where the Sassanian forces were defeated in a pivotal clash. This battle was followed by a series of other engagements, culminating in the Battle of Nahavand in 642 CE, which signaled the final fall of the Sassanian Empire. The last Sassanian ruler, Yazdijir III, fled and was eventually killed, leaving Persia under the control of the Caliphate. With the Islamic conquest, Persia transitioned from Zoroastrian rule to Islamic governance. Although Islam became the dominant religion, the change was not abrupt for the Persian people. It was a gradual, centuries-long shift as they blended the new faith with their own cultural heritage. This was not simply an era of subjugation but one of synthesis, where Persian culture adapted to and transformed the Islamic world. Persia became a vital part of the vast Islamic Empire, which stretched from Spain in the west to the borders of India in the east. Persian cities like Nishapur, Merv, and Baghdad, which, though an Islamic capital, was heavily influenced by Persian culture, became centers of learning and commerce. The Persian influence on Islamic culture was profound, particularly in administration, literature, and art. Many Persians converted to Islam, and Persian scholars, bureaucrats, and artists began to make significant contributions to the Islamic Golden Age. Persian language and culture became interwoven with the Caliphate's political and intellectual life. Persian officials were highly valued in the administration of the empire, with their expertise in governance and record-keeping forming the basis of the Islamic bureaucracy. Persian administrators developed advanced systems of taxation, land management, and public infrastructure, which allowed the Caliphate to effectively govern its vast territories. The Barmakid family, originally Buddhist nobles from Balkh who later converted to Islam, became prominent advisors to the Abbasid caliphs, helping to shape the policies and culture of the Islamic Empire. The Abbasids, who overthrew the Umayyad Caliphate in 750 CE and established their capital in Baghdad, were deeply influenced by Persian customs and court practices. The Abbasid Persianization marked a cultural renaissance. As Persian art, literature, and statecraft began to permeate the Islamic world, as Persia integrated into the Islamic world, it experienced a cultural and intellectual revival known as the Persian Renaissance. During this time, Persian scholars and poets produced some of the most influential works in literature, science, and philosophy. One of the greatest contributors to this era was the poet Ferdowsi, who wrote the Shahnameh, or the Book of Kings, an epic poem that preserved the stories of Persia's pre-Islamic past. Ferdowsi's work was a remarkable achievement, both as a masterpiece of Persian literature and as a means of cultural preservation. The Shahnameh kept the memory of Persian heroes, kings, and legends alive, celebrating Persian identity at a time when the nation was undergoing profound changes. Another towering figure was the philosopher and scientist Avicenna, Ibn Sina, whose works on medicine and philosophy became foundational texts in both the Islamic and European worlds. Avicenna's The Canon of Medicine was used as a medical reference for centuries. While his philosophical treatises explored questions of metaphysics, ethics, and the nature of the soul. His contributions helped establish Persia as a center of intellectual achievement, one that combined the best of Persian and Islamic thought. Persia also excelled in fields like mathematics, astronomy, and chemistry. Mathematician al-Khwarizmi, for instance, developed algebra, a discipline that has profoundly impacted science and engineering. Persian scientists made groundbreaking advancements in optics, pharmacology, and mechanics, paving the way for future developments during the Renaissance. These scholars translated works from ancient Greece and India, preserving knowledge that would otherwise have been lost and expanding upon it with their own research. The Islamic period brought about a new style in Persian art and architecture, blending Persian motifs with Islamic aesthetics. This era saw the development of intricate tilework, calligraphy, and geometric patterns, which became hallmarks of Persian Islamic art. The grand mosques, mausoleums, and palaces of this period, with their elaborate domes and minarets, were a testament to the Persian talent for architectural innovation. One of the most famous examples of Persian Islamic architecture is the Great Mosque of Isfahan, a stunning structure with a layout that combines Persian and Islamic elements. The mosque's intricate tilework, expansive courtyards, and majestic domes reflect the unique fusion of styles that defined this period. Persian artisans developed techniques for creating mosaics and ceramics with vibrant colors and complex designs, a legacy that continues to influence Islamic art across the world. Persian carpet weaving also became an art form during this era, with its elaborate patterns and techniques earning admiration and demand across the Islamic world and beyond. Persian carpets were not only functional but also served as symbols of luxury and sophistication. Often featuring rich colors, floral motifs, and symbolic designs, as the Abbasid Caliphate weakened, regional Persian dynasties began to assert themselves, bringing even more distinctively Persian elements back into the political and cultural landscape. The Samanids, based in Khorasan, were one of the first such dynasties, ruling a significant part of northeastern Persia and promoting Persian culture, literature, and the arts. They were instrumental in the revival of the Persian language as a language of literature and administration, alongside Arabic. Following the Samanids, the Buyids, a Shia dynasty of Daylamite origin, gained control of Baghdad in the 10th century, taking advantage of the Abbasids' weakened political power. The Buyids brought Persian customs, art, and governance into the Abbasid capital itself, bridging the Persian and Arab worlds. They revived the ancient Persian concept of Shahanshah, King of Kings, and supported Persian literature and philosophy, further solidifying Persia's role in the Islamic Golden Age. The Ghaznavids, who ruled from the 10th to the 12th century, were another influential Persian dynasty, notable for their patronage of arts and culture. Under Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni, Persian literature and culture thrived, attracting scholars, poets, and artists to the Ghaznavid court. Mahmud's empire stretched from Persia to India, and he brought Persian culture with him, leaving a lasting impact on the Indian subcontinent. The Persian-Islamic Golden Age represents a remarkable chapter in history, where Persian identity and Islamic faith combined to create an era of unparalleled creativity and intellectual achievement. This period laid the foundation for future advancements in science, literature, art, and philosophy, not only in Persia but across the Islamic world. Persian scholars preserved the knowledge of ancient civilizations and expanded upon it, shaping the intellectual and cultural landscape of the medieval world. The Persian language and culture continued to influence the Islamic world for centuries, from the poetry of Rumi to the architecture of the Safavid dynasty. This golden age was not merely a period of assimilation but a time of transformation, where Persian contributions to the Islamic world helped define what would become one of the most culturally rich civilizations in history. Persia's legacy from this period endures, with its art, literature, and philosophy remaining as treasured elements of global heritage. Through its fusion of ancient traditions and new faith, Persia demonstrated the power of cultural synthesis, proving that identity is not diminished through change but enriched when embraced with an open and innovative spirit.